Hello, everyone. The month of May started with so much activity happening astrologically in the sky, which naturally, as I have learned over the years, plays on the psychology of the human minds. It's as if the psychology of the universe is reflected or enacted here on Earth. We have a full moon lunar eclipse coming up the 16th May, and the energies are already heating up emotionally. So, before explaining as to why this lunar eclipse is important and what we need to do to strengthen our emotions, let me first apprise you about the past months. The year 2022 is experiencing the alignment between Jupiter and Pluto, which always creates a lot of power and magic in the air. This alignment apprised us and is still giving us chances for refining ourselves, defining ourselves by connecting to our souls and making changes within us which are of paramount importance for the peace of mind and success in life. If possible, reflect back, recollect, and relate to the changes that happened in 2020 when Jupiter and Pluto started the new synodic cycle and they were in conjunct. Call it serendipity or synergy or whatever, but the spectacular alignment of the king planet Jupiter with the dwarf planet Pluto never got much better than that year in 2020. It had its conjunction thrice in that year. A similarly good Jupiter Pluto rendezvous might not happen again for a number of centuries to come, but we are going to be still be affected by the alignment of these two planets. And now, in 2022, when they align, it reminds us of the magic that we can create in our lives. These two planets are very slow moving planets and meet less often than the faster planets, so their alignments are a big deal. Since they herald changes for transformation on a personal, generational, and societal level, you need to understand about yourself and make the changes in your life wherever you feel the need for change the most. Secondly, Jupiter changed signs last month. Barring retrogrades, this happens only about once every 12 months. So, again, it's very intense and inspiring to understand that Jupiter is the planet of abundance and enhancement. Your thought processes expand and manifests. You become what you think. Especially when now Jupiter is transiting the sign of Aries from May 11th through July 28th, it's time for maximum enjoying the process of transformation. Indulge your creativity with new stimulation. Bravery and boldness will be rewarded. Jupiter will start its retrograde movement back to Pisces from July 28th onwards till November end. Just keep in mind that Jupiter is so benevolent that it is bound to grace you with whatever you throw into the universe with your or through your thought processes. The new moon in Taurus on April 28th, this last April 28th, triggered you to realign your finances for better security. Now, financial course corrections helped you with your transformations, which the Jupiter and Pluto alignment urged. Now, we are in for the full moon eclipse exactly after 2 weeks of solar eclipse. So, as the month of May unfolds, you would be feeling that after the solar eclipse of April 30th last, which forced you to declutter your surroundings, now the lunar eclipse forces us consciously and intentionally to think about what should be done internally to get you strong emotionally. The full moon of Scorpio coinciding with the lunar eclipse is an indication that fate is slowly taking over. The first lesson for us to learn is to let go of circumstances that you have no control over, so you can shape your fate. You can be an architect of your fate. Understand that there are certain things which we have no control over. So let go of whatever upsets and angsts you're holding on to. Let go of resentment and fear. Let go of anyone or anything you feel you're clinging or depending on. Time to release all your fears. Understand that relationships need to be sorted, air needs to be cleared or released without any remorse, guilt, or fear. Every once in a while, we need to look into attachments, personal or materialistic, and realize certain facts where situations have become toxic because of which you are engulfed with unhappiness. We need to work through our emotions. One thing you'll start to learn as you start to understand the transit of planets and work upon your own energies under their guidance, not only does your spirituality become strong, but you are also able to eliminate fear. A lot depends on what we feed: commitment to ourselves or the fear. The choice is always in our hands. Full moon is magnificent in its brilliance for giving us a very safe, secure space in order to process our inner energies. This is the time to let go, and you will have to force yourself since it's an eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, which sometimes holds on rather grudgingly. Now, having explained to you about this potent full moon lunar eclipse, in fact, which is also known as blood moon eclipse, because of its power, you need to understand and write down for yourself in your personal diaries, what do you want to transform about yourself? Find which house is Scorpio representing in your natal chart. Most probably, it's that sector of your life that is triggering you. The realization can help you eliminate fear from that part of your life. Lunar eclipse helps us to tap into our innermost energies and garner the required emotional freedom to face your truth and resolve issues. The emotional freedom technique is quite simple. 2 days before and after this full moon lunar eclipse, try tapping on certain points of the head and body, or a gentle warm oil massage helps in releasing your stress. It's super powerful because it allows us intuitively to face our fears and come face to face and be confident of resolving the issues. Issues are gallantly resolved, especially when we are able to acknowledge whatever it is that we need to deal with. The idea here is that address our feelings, we live them, we accept them, and in doing so, we release them. So during this time, the exercise that is important is forgiveness and release. This full moon is particularly good for forgiveness because this month it is the sign of Scorpio, and no sign holds on to a grudge more than a Scorpio. So we need to deliberate on our emotions. So the questions to ask at this full moon is: have I been holding on to upsets lately? If so, what good has it done to me? Question yourself. Is there someone who has a grudge against me? If so, why? And if you must try to extend the olive branch. Be the first one, be the magnanimous one. Am I comfortable with acknowledging my dark side? Do I need to transform from within? The full moon phase, it's a make or break time. This phase begins 15 or 18 and a half days after the new moon, and the key words during this phase are the results, the forgiveness, and developing an attitude of gratitude, counting your blessings. The full moon is the high point of the lunar cycle. Things come to a head now, and we know it instinctively. We also instinctively realize if one of your wishes is to come true, it may well manifest at this point of time. Or perhaps you will intuitively get an indication that situations will ultimately resolve. Though some wishes may take time, but develop patience. Encourage your feelings, listen to what the heart prompts. Get into the zone of the feel good factor, count your blessings. For those who have experienced their sensitivities during the moon phases, will feel quite wound up and anxious. That's because, on some level, your body knows that this is the climax of your current cycle, and that whatever you haven't quite managed to manifest may have to wait. This part of the cycle is actually known as the yang energy. The energy is out there, and our feelings are on display for all to see. Use this part of the cycle to release and let go. If something hasn't worked out, bless it and let it go. Move on. Recognize and count the blessings in your life. Look back over the past months, and you need to become conscious, or you can become conscious of anyone or anything that has hurt you in the past. This isn't the time for blame game, though. It's a time to forgive. When you forgive, you release the karma, and when you do that, you exit the situation. And because nature abhors a vacuum, you need to replace what you're releasing with your attitude of gratitude and also counting your blessings. The idea is to use this high point in the lunar cycle to let go and move on. Forgiving anyone or anything that has hurt you in the past is one of the healthiest things you can do for yourself. It's known as detoxifying of the mind and heart. The clearer you are now, the better able you will be to sow more seeds at the time of the new moon in the coming 2 weeks. The full moon is the time when emotions that come to the surface need to be addressed and dealt with. So once you let go of any unsettled or unresolved feelings you have about someone or something, you have created for yourself a new energy, and you have made yourself ready once again to receive the grace of the universe. That's why they say, prepare yourself to receive the grace. The universe is benevolent 100% to everyone. Only you need to be prepared to receive that grace. So, what it means for each sign, just stay tuned, and soon I'll be back with that information. Till then, search your natal charts and find out which house does Scorpio moon want you to look into. Till then, stay blessed.